Good afternoon, beekeepers. It's July the 1st. It's also 89 degrees and 57% humidity, which is a normal July day. Maybe a little cold, but at 89, it's pretty good. We're going to go out here and take a look at some bees. I hadn't done an inspection on some of them in about 2 weeks, so let's go. All right, since this is the 1st of July, we have a few things we got to start doing. One is we got to plan on our varroa treatments, our feeding after we pull all the honey, and what to look forward to when we have no food, which is called fall dearth. Now that's a period of time when there's really no flowers for them to feed on. And you got to feed the bees. All right, so there's a few bees in the top. Not many. They've been working on the comb. There's not anything real big to see. I'll just pull out one here. Got some dead bees laying up in here. See, they're pulling out the frames. Getting them ready to use, which is good. I mean, this one's got honey packed in it. Some on the other side. And there is still goldenrod. Right now, asters are blooming. But there's goldenrod coming, maybe. As dry as it is right now. There may not be a lot, but they can bring in some. They need to, so they'll have enough food for wintertime. Now then, the bottom box. All right, they're building out the frame against the wall. And they got the inside, oh, about 60%, maybe. Oh, that's interesting. My hive stand sticks out too far, or my other box sticks out too far. Let's put this over here on the shady side then. Either way, it's good. Okay. That's heavy. This entire frame is packed with honey. As small as this box is, most likely I'll be just pulling that top box off, shaking the bees off, unless they build a lot more out. Okay, full of honey on that side. What they've built out on this side is packed with honey and capped. And we have a full frame of brood capped, which they are back filling with honey. But that's okay. A lot of brood. What does concern me though is the fact that the center of this frame is empty. And there's no eggs in it. No little larvae. That's okay. We'll just keep looking. They're so calm, I don't even want to use the smoke. All right, they've backfilled. Now I lost my son. All right, there's some larvae. Backfill side is full of brood. They're putting a lot of honey in the brood frames. Okay, that frame's got a lot of larvae from really, really young to close to capping. And that side does too. So I'm in good shape. The queen's definitely laying. There's no queen cups, no queen cells. They're happy. I'm happy. Let's box her up. Right now, that's about all you want to do this time of year. And on my honey producers, you don't even want to do that. I hear an unhappy bee. Means I got her a little close in the cells. All right, these girls are growing. They're going to be really small going into winter, but with the amount of brood that's about to come out, they'll fill these 2 boxes. And since I don't have any other boxes, it's a good thing. All right, I want to show you what happened when I tipped some of those frames up. You can see right there that the honey is so thin in this box. That it just run right out on the boxes, out on the pallet there. But they'll clean it up. It won't be any problem. All right, so there's box, the only box we're going to do on this side. Last week we worked on those. I'm not going to touch them again this week. Just the ones I didn't do with last week. So we'll move on to the next box. All right, this is number 6, my swarm hive. First inspection since I moved them and set them up here. That's interesting. All right, looking in the top cover. I just put this honey super on and they're building it. Yeah, they're doing a good job of building it out. Acorn frame, almost nothing. Acorn frame, they're hardly touching. That's kind of interesting. That frame they're working on. But, yeah, all I want to do is build out some frames for next year because they're not big enough to put out any honey this year. So let's take away their honey box and go in down here. This should be interesting. These girls aren't near as friendly as the last box I just opened. But they have built out a lot of frames. And that one's built out on both sides. They've begun to cap some. My stand over here. And it damaged some comb because they built some burr comb over on the side of the box. I'm just going to take care of that little problem for them. All right. That's a full honey frame box frame. Very packed. Both sides. Just barely a sign of them capping any of it. Full frame of honey and a bare side. So we're going to rotate these a little bit. Put that bare one in just a little different position. All right, the next frame is a brood frame. All right. See, it's almost completely brood. Here in the center, it's full of honey. And it looks like all the other cells are full of honey. Oops, pretty wimpy honey too, because it is running out. That's what I like to see though. The backside is larvae everywhere from a few days old to being capped. So that is awesome. All right. Next frame is mostly capped brood. There's a few cells around the edges and through the middle that are young larvae. Same on this side. They're almost honeybound. If I hadn't put that other frame on box on top, they would have been honeybound and she would have been out of a place to work. I think that's just incredible. All the frames in the middle on this one are larvae. This one's about half and half larvae and honey. They're needing that top box. Well, let's take a look at this pink frame. Oh, they filled it with honey. And half of it capped. Weird spots that they haven't built out very well, but yep, that's some very good honey right there. Of course, this is a first year hive, so we won't take anything off of it. Even if they put it up in the top box, we won't be pulling any of it because they've got to have enough to survive on, because they definitely don't have a very big numbers, but you got a lot of brood coming up. So yeah, that's a frame of almost completely capped. It's all honey. And the last frame is all well built out honey. On the back side, it's almost completely capped. So I'm not going in the bottom because there's no reason. We know they got resources. We know they got brood. We know there's an active queen. And we're going to move this frame right over here towards the center. So if they build out that one side that's almost nothing on it, queen can lay on it. All right, there we are, number 6. In very good shape. It's got enough resources, it should be able to survive the winter. So I'm happy with that. Whoops, I forgot the box, didn't I? I'm offsetting the tops to give them a little air circulation due to these very, very hot and humid days. All right. All right, as we said before, this time of year, it's the 1st of July. The only thing that we're really interested in now is we have to switch towards what it's going to take to get our bees to survive during the winter, which means looking at stored resources, number of bees. We've got to start considering our varroa mite treatments. And if we hadn't already pulled honey, then we got to look at how soon we can do that or what reserves we're going to leave on the hives. With a double deep, your top box should be mostly honey. If it's not, then your bottom box should be mostly honey. And you can tell by the weight, you don't necessarily have to break them open. But I can see this top box is mostly undrawn still. That one's partially drawn, and you can tell by the orange part that's where they've got honey stored. And the reoccurring theme, I hate to say it, is my bees don't like acorn. I don't know what it is. But all of the other frames, these were all put in at the same time. These are completely built out and mostly packed with honey. And the honey's fairly well dried too. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and check the rest of these honey frames. Barely any honey in them at all, but all the non-acorn frames. See? Acorn, nothing. So, not sure what's up with that. But for this year, I'm not concerned because they're not going to be drawing that much frames anyway. See, the non-acorn frames are almost all completely built out, and some of them are full of honey. Acorn 0. Every other frame in this box was acorn. They have drawn out every other frame and packed it with honey. So, they don't seem to like acorn. Oh well. Everybody else says that they love acorn because they build them out fast. Well, I'll re-wax them next year. And we'll see what they do. Put them on earlier in the spring. This box didn't have tons of population to begin with, so I'm not surprised that they're all now built out, but it seems kind of strange that acorn frames are the only ones that are not built. Okay, bees. Got bees staring at me from almost every frame, which is good. I've noticed the bearding on the front of this one, so population's up. They're getting hot. All right, partially drawn out frame, honey in it, same on the other side. And it's a lot of nectar. Shaking it out on the board shows you that it's not honey, it's just nectar. Come on. Yeah, that one's all honey. Well, it's actually got some brood on the bottom. Well, it was brood, it's all honey now. Both sides, mostly capped honey. Okay, built out frame, a lot of it's honey, same on the other side. This frame, nothing. But we do know they'll still wax off of one frame to fill another one, so that's probably what they're doing there. Same here. Pretty sure these were built out frames, at least partially. That's 3 in a row. But the next one breaks the strain because it's all brood. Did I tell you it's hot out here? All right. Now, considering how dark this is, should be about ready to they're about ready to start coming out. Oops, I see an open queen cup right in the middle. And a couple across the bottom. Come on, guys, give me a place to set the frame. The other side has a full capped queen cell. And I don't know how far she is from emerging, but I'll show you right there. Nice, complete, capped queen cell. But it's at the very top, so it's most likely a supersedure, not a swarm, which means most likely means that when it comes out, it will replace the existing queen. They won't swarm. If it was on the bottom, then I'd be looking for the queen real bad to replace her, to capture her and put her in another box, because they would be swarming or would have already swarmed. All right, frame of brood. I mean, about a frame of honey. They may have already lost their queen. Or already killed her. Yeah, that's a solid honey frame there. I mean, that's a solid honey frame. And to the outside, solid frame of honey. All right, I need to set this box off and look for brood. Actually, I don't, because I got a queen cell that's capped. They're going to replace their queen. And from the looks of those capped cells, there hasn't been a queen in here in a week or more. So we got a bunch of nurse bees that are fixing to come out. And they have a queen that's almost ready to go, which is going to make her a new queen. She should start laying by the end of the month. So we're going to have a real big brood break. So in a week or two, it'd be a good time to hit this one with oxalic acid to kill all the mites. All right, not a good outlook for this box this time of year, 1st of July. But they're not dead yet. And I'm going to prop the back of this just a tad for ventilation. It's not enough for bees to get in and out to steal all the honey, just enough to get them some air. All right, it's the last box we're going to take a look at today. This one is quite active. As you can see, got 3 honey supers on it. I think one of them is brand new. Maybe it's been a week or so ago. I'll look through the videos and find out when I put it on there, but population-wise, let me see if you can see that. Oops, come on, girls. All right, now that the top of the box is cleared, this top box is wall-to-wall bees. There is no empty space. Okay, so let's look. 3, 6, 9 frames. So let's take a look and see how much see if we need to harvest a frame of honey here. All right. They are building out frames with a vengeance, but there's no honey. Not on that frame anyway. Yeah, there's some honey on that one. But there's nothing capped. We'll definitely leave this one on for a while. There's no honey excluder. I mean, queen excluder. So the queen's been busy somewhere else because there's no brood up in the top. Every one of these frames is built out. And has honey in it. Not a lot, but it has honey in it. All right, so let's stop there. And the really nice thing I continue to see is, or don't see as the case may be, is small hive beetles. Been really happy this year. I have very few small hive beetles at all. And I can go through an inspection or two and never see a hive beetle. I think last week I saw 2 or 3. All right, 1 honey box. Shouldn't have done that. Did anyway. Okay, what I did was I stood it up on its end. It's only 9 frames. All right, and I can see this frame is built out well beyond the boards. All right, so this one's well built. And they're starting to cap. Get my stand up here. All right. Well, the part that has honey in it's capped. Same on the other side, fully capped. Same with that one. Fully capped, both sides. All right. This side's fully capped. This side is almost the half that's capped. And then you have a third of the frame that has nothing on it, and then a third of the frame that's almost capped. All right. Both sides of that are almost completely capped. All right, the next frame is the same way. And it's trying to sprinkle, so I'm going to rush through this. Capped, capped. And the big frame on the end is fully capped. All right. So this box is harvestable, but not today. For one, it's sprinkling. And you saw my last video where I pulled some frames of honey. Couldn't extract it because the cord on my dehumidifier melted. And without that, for one, it'd be 110 in my extraction room. And wouldn't be able to dry the honey. So I put them in the freezer, and I have not yet gotten another cord. I'm shaking them off because there's no way I could get them in there with all those bees hanging off. All right, considering it's sprinkling. I'm going to go ahead and put this other box back on there. I've got 2 boxes I can probably pull from that one. All right. Notice when I set that box back on there, get all the bees that are around the edge of it that are just with their Nasonov glands up in the air, fanning, saying they found their home. That's because I set them over there for a while, and they had already noticed that they were no longer anywhere near their hive anymore. So now they know they are, and they're fanning to tell all their sisters to come back home. Here's where it's at. It'll take them a minute. They'll settle back into the hive, and I can put the cover back on. I think it's just really cool to sit there. They're just lined up around the edge of the box. Telling everybody to get back in here. I just want to get them back in the box now. I don't have to worry about spreading these out too much, because this time of year they're probably not going to be building out frames too much. All right, that's good. I got and there they are. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be out here in the next few days to a week, pull those 2 honey supers, and we'll probably start doing some fall mite treatments. So don't forget to tell all your friends about me and come back and see my next videos. We'll see you later.